truth don't hide, it just waits for a face, Big footprints in a pine-slick path, Bob Lazar files with a government laugh. Court dates lost in a sea of red tape. We ain't 10-4, we just stay awake. True crime tales in a borrowed voice. We speak for the silence, not by choice. Got boots on the dirt and eyes on the skies, digging up stories they hoped would die. Might, truth, and thunder, we don't back down. With a Bible in the glove box and boots on the ground. Aliens, lies, and backroom deals. We break that silence, 'cause the soul feels real. Military broadcast, midnight run, teaching vets how to speak what the war's done. From trigger pulls to microphone stands, from combat zones to healing hands. Public records, missing names, unsealed files, classified games. We chase what's buried, not what trends, and we pray for light at the truth's deep end. Might, truth, and thunder, we don't back down. With a Bible in the glove box and boots on the ground. Aliens, lies, and backroom deals. We break that silence, 'cause the soul feels real. Some chase fame, we chase the facts. Some fold quick, we read the tracks. It ain't paranoia if it's always been there, and we ain't scared to lay it bare. Into the storm. We ain't perfect, but we were made for this form.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio. I'm Amber.
And I'm Alora.
And tonight we have Paul from Reporting Live from My Sofa.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Hello. It's nice to meet y'all.
Yeah. And we have Nancy from the Toll podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And then we also have 1980 Millennial Commentates.
Hey, everyone. I've been really deep in the Epstein emails. This is me now.
Yep.
After learning that a lot of these crazy conspiracy theories might have some truth to them.
Yeah, I have
couldn't believe
actually.
it.
Yeah, I've been like. So at first, I was ignoring the Epstein files because I was like, oh, there's just nothing I need to know or anything because whatever. I don't know. I just blocked it. And then the ladies were sending stuff back and forth in the group text, and I was like, oh, I need to go look at some things. So I have Googled some or searched some things in those files, and one thing that really surprised me, but I guess not, and it actually made me cry yesterday when I started thinking about it. Johnny Gosh, I looked him up, and there's this whole like paper about pedophilia and stuff like that. And if anybody doesn't know the Johnny Gosh story, he was like the first or second person to be put on a milk carton. He was a newspaper boy who was kidnapped, and his mom had always said like 10 years later he had come back and told her that he couldn't stay because there were these rich men who were in charge of the world basically and had kidnapped him and was trafficking him and stuff like that. And she tried to tell everybody for years and years and years, and nobody ever believed her. Wow. And then all this is coming out, and it's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I purposely looked his name up just to see what came up.
Yeah, I remember that story. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's like a huge one.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking. And the way that his mom was treated, like she was crazy. Everybody told her she was crazy.
Yeah.
And now I don't think she was.
Think so.
Yeah.
It's scary the amount of people that popped up in there. So
Yeah, and I mean, we found things that are very close to us, and you know, the fact that Windyville isn't very far away from here is kind of scary, you know.
people who don't know, what happened in Windyville was they were cannibals.
Mhm.
So
And that's
You
only
know-
like an hour and a half away.
My friend Kathy, who's done a lot of investigations around here, she was supposed to come here today, but she wasn't feeling well. So we're going to do a video pretty soon. But she went to the property and has a couple of stories from that property as she was investigating it.
Oh,
And
wow.
I can't wait until we can get together and tell those stories. But terrible, just terrible. It's awful.
so interested in hearing that.
Yeah, I really am too. But yeah, just to know that it's all real and know that Windyville is so close and everything. And then Missouri popped up quite a few times in the Epstein files, which
Things literally like a street away from my current job. Things I found, this is in Florida, so I'm not as afraid to share this, but he was buying like cats or something like that and sending money orders to someone who just lived a couple streets away from me in Florida. And it's like, oh my God.
yeah, in the same complex.
No, it wasn't the same complex.
Oh, it wasn't the same
It was
complex.
very close. So
okay.
it's like it's a
Yeah.
lot closer to home than any of us thought it would be. But
Yeah.
yeah. You know, speaking of Epstein, we're gonna get into Gypstein.
Yeah, right.
We're very
Gypsy.
that segue. Thank you so much, Paul, for coming on. Now
Yes.
he knows a little bit less about the Gypverse, as it's been dubbed, than we do. So we just figured that since there's so many people that are kind of coming in and they're learning all this new stuff, having him or just anybody on here that doesn't know as much about it is a really good thing, because it helps us kind of cover some of the bases that we might not always cover for anybody who's kind of coming in new. So Paul, how are you feeling watching all these new FOIA videos? Because I know that's what you've mostly been exposed to.
I mean, let me tell you what. So everybody started telling me, Paul, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And I'm like, hold on now. It takes me a minute. I'm like, I get distracted with this, that, and the other. So I finally start watching, and my mouth is just on the ground. And I'm like, number one, from uncomfortableness. So like so many of them, I was like, this is creepy. This is gross. This feels very like what? But then also, and like I told you, I'm like a casual consumer of the Gypsy Rose story. Like, so I was like, I knew the case, obviously. I knew it was big. I followed it. Like, she's getting ready to get out of prison. Oh gosh, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And then I followed it a little bit when she got out, like the TV show, et cetera, et cetera. And then, the stuff about the medical things started coming out, and like, maybe it wasn't really this. And it just kind of went away a little bit because I think I mentally blocked her out of my life. I was like, I can't with this person anymore. So she's on a shelf. We're going over here. And then again, it just popped up, and I started watching. I was like, I have so many other questions now because this changes everything. And like I told you earlier, I'm like, I feel like I want to go back and like watch the interrogations again, watch the show again to connect all the dots.
Right.
So yeah, very, very shocking. Lots of questions. So yeah.
I have lots of questions
Yeah.
still. myself.
Every answer you get pops up 17 more questions, and it's
Yep.
never ending.
Literally, it's just so crazy. So I mean, like, how do you want to do it? Do you want me to just like randomly ask y'all questions, or do y'all want to like say something? Like, how do you want to do it? Because I could literally take over and pick your brains, and you'll be like, oh my God, don't ever have him back here, shut him up. Like, because it's basic stuff. And we've been talking a little bit before we came on here, so y'all have the context of like where I'm at with the Gypsy story.
Yeah. So just so everybody doesn't know, or if you don't know, we recorded with Paul before this. So there will be an episode on his channel. And we got into a lot of stuff, and there's so many rabbit holes within rabbit holes.
Yeah. So I'd say that, however the episode ends up flowing naturally will be just fine. But if it sounds like you might have a specific question, is there anything in specific you want to know?
So I guess let's like revisit the FOIA videos. I call them the FOIA videos that they released and whatnot. Okay, so as these are coming out, we're seeing like Gypsy's, she's moving around, she's talking, she's doing all these like hypersexual things and this role playing and this, that, and the other. So one of the things that my viewers were asking me about was, well, she doesn't seem like she's really hiding. Like I thought she was like in this really contrived prisoner-like situation.
Mhm.
How is she able to, number one, record these videos and they're not like, you can tell when somebody's trying to do something like in a sneaky way. Like I'm off in the cut trying to record this. This is like we've set up camp. We're making a full production video.
Right.
We're uploading. These are characters. We've got wigs. Our voice isn't lowered. We're in the house sometimes. We're in the car. So if you can add more context to that of how old she was during this, what kind of dynamic does this paint the relationship between her and her mother from what we've been told is like the general public?
Okay. Well, from everything I understand, she was 21 to 23 when the videos were being made.
Mhm.
2012 to 2015.
Almost 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a month away from, not even from being 24.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Grown adult.
yeah, a
Yeah.
grown adult, somebody who had their own agency and everything like that. And that's been one of the hardest things to educate people on is that she's not a little kid in these videos, even
Yeah.
though she looks like a dang little kid. People always think that she was younger or that she was forced to make these videos. I've even heard that.
That's
But-
what she says.
Yeah, but I've also heard like people who have interviewed her who have said, well, I'm not going to go watch those videos because they were done without her consent. And it's like, lady, if you watch those videos, you would see she was totally consenting to everything that was happening.
Way more into it than Nick seemed to be.
Yeah.
Not that he's not a freak, because he is, but she was steering that shit.
Yeah, she
And
was.
And I think, Paul, logistically, some of those questions, because I had spoke to a former neighbor of theirs, and they had a very similar house. And she was like, how would Dee Dee not hear her? Like it's a small house. The walls are thin. And so she had the same questions. Was Dee Dee not around a lot? Was she gone? Was Dee Dee there and just knocked out and was, taking meds? So we have those same questions. How was she making so many of these videos and Dee Dee not somehow? We don't know.
Yeah. and-
One thing we have learned though from both the FOIA videos and from having access to her prison emails is I thought for the longest time, like, well, even if, she has medical conditions and all that, like, it's still weird that Dee Dee made her dress and act like a little kid. But now we know that is Gypsy's kink. And she continued it as much as she could in prison, even role playing in emails, talking about the little girl stuff she wanted, using baby talk, stuff like that, saying she had her own baby talk language. And in the videos, like, she made it very clear that she wants to be a woman and a child at the same time, and that her other personalities, she even said in one video, like, I'm real age 23, but this personality is 19, this one's 18, this one's 13, this one's 10, So the whole BS about her not knowing her age, like, if she didn't, it's because she got dang confused. She had 5 in her head. Not because she did.
Yeah. And something I forgot to mention when we were talking to you earlier, but at least one of her videos was actually recorded in Dee Dee's bed.
A bunch of
Multiple,
them.
actually.
Yeah. So a few of them.
Even her naked in Dee Dee's bed.
Yeah.
I can't. Looked at watching those. So even like before the FOIA videos, the little girl voice that she does, like even like in the videos that you see where she's like, this house is full of love and all that, I can see why people have such a hard time associating her with being older, like her real age or whatever during that time, because she presented herself so much as that. But then when you add that her kink component to it, whatever you want to call it, right? In the presentation of how because she dresses like a little kid, like a 5-year-old, like a little kid in a lot of those. And it was so uncomfortable because I was like, again, just coming into it, I'm like, who is this dude into this stuff? Like, why is she presenting this? Now, I haven't watched a ton of Nick's. I just started, and I too got that vibe where I was like, he doesn't seem as enthusiastic
He
in the
just-
videos that I see him doing. Like, this is like a whole universe for her. You know what I'm saying? Whereas he was almost like, okay, this is what she wants. Like, I'm just kind of pandering. Like, this is just the vibe here. I haven't made up this like little whole universe. Like, she seems to have invested herself in it.
He
Yeah.
couldn't remember the name of her character he was talking to in one of them. He was like Demonana, Demona, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
I was going into that.
Yeah. And somebody pointed out in the chat that she literally continued to do all this stuff in prison. Like, you know, for her being forced to do this BDSM stuff, which again, Dan Glidewell, her former, whatever you even want to call him, interest. Sexting buddy is a good way to put it. But yeah, he testified that she introduced him to BDSM. And
that was before she met Nick.
Yeah, before she met Nick. And then she's so traumatized by Nick introducing it to her. Well, you're explaining to him how things work. And then after you get into prison, all you're doing all day is being in these BDSM relationships with people. And again, I don't care if you're into BDSM, but stop acting like it's not you that was into it when
Right.
that seems to be a huge motivation factor in the crime, or at least the way it was committed.
Right.
And then Nancy, I think you said you had interviewed like a neighbor and things of that nature. So I guess another question I have is on that note of people such as that were in prison with her, or like the neighbor. Like, what was the vibe of them? For example, what does a neighbor have to say? Like, oh yeah, this is what it was like living next to Gypsy, or oh yeah, she was weird, or oh, I didn't buy the story, or did anybody have anything like that to say about her?
Yeah, so I just released a podcast. It's called Main Character, the Toll podcast.
I got it saved right over here. They were telling me I got pulled up on this computer. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna listen to it tonight.
And what's neat about Dominique is that she really hasn't, post FOIA and all these videos and everything, she has not dug into them. She's watched a few clips, but she was really kind of preserved in that time of just being their neighbor in that perspective. So that was really neat so many years later to talk to somebody and have that. But it was just, they were both very childlike, you know, and she said they were both not right in the head, but very sweet and very kind to her. And she kept pushing that message, you know, to me, they were very kind people. Someone right, you know, and her other message was that she felt Gypsy got this from somewhere, and that somewhere is Dee Dee, wanting to please, wanting to keep her mom's love. So, you know, it's just, they're really confused because, you know, they have these people who are different. They wrap their arms around them. They try to help this sick child and a struggling single mom. And then all of a sudden, Dee Dee's keeping this child sick. Well, now we're trying to say, well, no, Gypsy was sick. She really was sick, you know, and they're just like, it's too much.
Whiplash.
Too much.
What? Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so they just pull back. They all just kind of pull back.
I don't blame them. They've been treated like shit.
Well, and Millennial can attest to the fact that they were treated like crap when they believed that Dee Dee was abusing this sick child.
Yeah.
And then they put it all on the people of Springfield and Aurora that they didn't pick up on it.
Yeah, I am from Southwest Missouri, and I lived in Aurora at the same time as Gypsy and Dee Dee whenever they arrived there after the hurricane, and they were there for a couple of years before they moved to their pink house in Springfield, the Habitat House. I didn't personally meet them, but some friends and family of mine were their neighbors in Aurora. And they said the same thing as Dominique always, that they were just very, very sweet, a little different, you know, Disney obsessed, staying in child mind kind of thing. But they didn't suspect anything about Gypsy. I did a couple of times whenever I saw the snow jumping video. I was like, wait a minute, she's moving her legs. And I got shamed pretty good for not understanding that wheelchair users aren't always completely paralyzed and unable to move their legs. But I had heard that, but Dee Dee had told them, because they were around her so much, being direct neighbors, Dee Dee had told them she has muscular dystrophy. So she can move her legs some, but she needs the wheelchair. She, because of muscular dystrophy kind of thing. So that was the mindset they were in. And then I'm like, she's moving her legs. And they're like, come on, don't be an ableist. Yeah. But then after the murder, people were looking at that whole area going, how did you not know this was right in your midst? And everyone felt pretty bad because they had just tried really hard to help out Hurricane Katrina victims with a cancerous child.
Mm-hmm.
And I think another thing that was deceiving too is that Gypsy would lose a ton of weight, get very, small and look really, really sick. I mean, Dominique said at times she thought Gypsy's going to die at any point. And then she'd bounce back. But now I think we're learning through what Audrey is finding that, those gaps in time when she would go for treatment, that maybe she really was getting treated for cancer or some kind of anemia or something during that time. And so that would answer a lot of questions where Dominique said, oh, she would just look so frail and sick, and then she'd bounce back. Well, that would
Yeah. Welcome in, Audrey.
Yeah.
By the way.
Hi, Audrey.
Sorry, I'm late. I joined from the car because I'm late.
We don't forgive you. No, that's just kidding.
That's okay.
Audrey is who I was telling you about, who's the timeline girly. She's trying to figure all that out, and she keeps her receipts and she organizes them well.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Audrey.
Nice to meet you.
So then so timeline type stuff, and I kind of already asked this one a little bit, but I'm going to ask layer the question, I guess. So during the videos that we're seeing that little time frame, what is the context going on in general? So we're seeing Gypsy make these videos for Nick and all this kind of stuff and yada, yada, yada. At this time, the public is still very much under the assumption that she is wheelchair bound. She's very sick, kind of like a possibly dying, not going to live very long, that type. Is that correct? Would you say?
Yeah.
It's
Actually, Millennial was told over and over and over again that she was probably going to die young.
Yes, not going to live to be an adult and all that. That's part of the reason why people wanted to give so much and didn't question the constant Disney trips and stuff, because it's like, well, she's not going to live,
And I would like to interject and say that is what the public was being told. But as far as I've found so far, I have not found her even allude to that to Nick, that she for a second thought she was dying or excessively ill.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so Gypsy went on this podcast recently talking all about Munchausen by proxy, and we've just never seen any evidence of Munchausen by proxy. But at the same time, the whole idea of Munchausen by proxy is very complicated too, because now they even include malingering in with that.
Yeah.
And so.
And attention seeking.
And that's imposed on self.
Physical abuse.
Yeah.
Imposed on self.
Yeah, malingering is the imposed on self. Munchausen by proxy is when somebody else does it. So the malingering, from what I've seen in the books and from the NIH, that's the imposed on self Munchausen.
Is malingering for financial and social gain, whereas, Munchausen's more like
attention
and actually causing pain to the child and
actually making them sick
from it.
Yeah. And actually, Millennial, I know that you had been reading a book on Munchausen.
I have been too.
And I know you had done some videos on it. Can you kind of get into a little bit about how Munchausen may be kind of maybe not a scam isn't the right word, but how there's a lot of people that misdiagnose, and how the people who are experts are kind of possibly shady?
Mm-hmm.
We found a ton of families that were suing the experts because they got randomly accused of Munchausen. Some of them lost their homes, their life savings. One family was accused of it while they were in the process of adopting a baby. Not only lost the adoption, even though they were cleared later, but lost their home and everything defending themselves. And they get cleared, but then they have no recourse because the doctors are protected under the right to report or whatever it's called. I might be
Mandated
missaying that.
Mandated
Mandated reporter. Thank you. I knew I was saying that wrong. But yeah, they have no recourse. They've tried filing suits, and this has happened multiple times. And it seems to be, to me, in my opinion, a problem that they're including simple attention seeking and not necessarily any harm to the child, because people who are hypochondriacs, you know, or people with health anxiety, or like in Dee Dee and Gypsy's case, chromosome deletion that wasn't even known about until years later and stuff like that, are often getting accused of this and losing everything, and sometimes losing their kids for temporary or long term. And it's just wild. It seems pretty bad.
I want to tell you guys a story. So I was talking to a young adult, and this last week, and she said that doctors here were dismissing her really, really rare heart condition. And she felt like the Gypsy case had swayed some things.
Really?
And I said, what year? 2018.
Wow.
Like, wow, that would have been during the, the trial. But like, that is amazing to hear that from you.
Well, and Nancy, like you were saying, specifically with Missouri, there's, I believe her name was Rebecca. I can't remember her last name, but she ended up having to fight CPS because they were trying to say that what was going on with her child was child abuse. And it turned out her child had a very rare condition as well. And her husband almost lost his job in the military. They lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. They almost lost custody. Well, they lost custody of their kids, but they almost had their rights terminated while waiting. And I'm not saying that it's unique to Missouri, but that was in Lebanon. And that's right down the road, as you're well aware.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to ask a question that's like kind of jumping way up to present time in the Gypsy timeline or whatever.
Yeah.
So, here we are now, present day, whatever. She has a TikTok account one day, she gives it away, then, takes it back, all this stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
What is she, do y'all know, like, what is she doing for money? Like, does she make money off social media? Does she have a job? Does she have businesses? Like, what is she doing?
She is currently making money off of her other TikTok account because she has two now. And we know that because she posted about how she made like $600 off of a video and was saying thank you to people. But additionally, she does get like royalties from this, or no, it's not called royalties. I forget what it's called, but like whenever people watch it, you get a few cents. It's nothing that really adds up. But additionally, like as far as getting stuff that we know of, she has an autistic man sending her gifts. And I would imagine if he's sending her gifts, she has other people sending gifts as well as money.
Mm-hmm.
And what
Do you know
about
about her fin-doming in prison?
No.
Well,
But
the
tell me.
PayPal.
Oh, the PayPal. Okay, yeah. We
Yeah.
talked a little bit about that, but please go off.
Educated millennial.
It's so when we first got the email file and opened it up, the very first thing we saw, first page of 1,090 pages, was someone saying, "Oh yes, goddess, here's your $50 for the week." And it was a person of undetermined gender, a grandparent in New Jersey, who was asking to be her loyal servant and allowed to send her money to make her happy. And yeah, whenever they thought that her and Ryan's marriage was annulled, because this was 2023 December, right before she got out.
Mm-hmm.
She was married to Ryan. And this is literally right before she got out and started filming. And whenever the person realized that Gypsy was married and that her and Ryan weren't annulled, they cut it off. They stopped emailing her. And she was like, you don't get to walk away from your goddess. I want my $50. So, yeah.
Honey buns ain't cheap.
Yeah.
She was
And the reason I brought that up is because the person that Audrey was talking about was emailing her and sending her money in prison. And it got a little weird. At one point, she said she was going to file restraining orders on them. But then we saw current day in her comments and everything. She is still accepting gifts and things from them and replying to them in her comments. So still in touch.
Yes.
On that timeline question again, so now jumping back to prison time, getting ready to get out, do the show. And I'm kind of speaking too from like, I call myself the general public of the consuming of the Gypsy story in that way.
Yeah.
So what I was seeing is like this big build up. Okay, she's getting out, yes, she's going to do books and interviews in the show. So we finally see the TV show, whatever it was called, Life After Lockup, whatever. And her interaction with Ryan, which immediately was like, oh, he gives her the ick. Like she doesn't like this guy, which was a surprise, I think, to anybody, because it was like, well, you're getting married, which is bizarre. Like, why are you doing that right out of the gate? So in that timeline, what you're saying is that on the same thing, she's doing the pay pig thing. She's talking to other men. So I guess my question leading up to that is, was Ryan literally like a means to an end? And this is why this seems to translate in the video of she does not like this man. They are butting heads.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh.
Go ahead, Millie.
She seems to have married him on a whim to try and trigger Ken and maybe Jeff, like her exes and stuff. She told him multiple times that she wasn't attracted to him. She cheated on him a lot, prison cheating with other dudes and things. They broke up several times, and Ryan would beg and email her like 20 times a day and told her multiple times that he wanted to be in her life in any way, whether that would be baby daddy, boyfriend number 2, sex slave, pleasure P, all this stuff. Ryan did not care what she did with him, basically, as long as she did something with him.
I mean, you kind of got that vibe watching the show, because I mean, he even says like, I mean, and I don't know how he said it, so this is just me, stating it in my own words, that she's like out of his league. He couldn't really get someone like her. And then 2, if you look back on the situation with her co-defendant, Nick, that seems to be her pattern of like finding dudes that she might consider herself to have some power over, or that they don't think that they deserve her in some way. Or, I mean, I don't know, which then makes me question the Ken thing.
Those are the guys that she uses, and the ones that she feels like has power over her, she obsesses over and can't ever like let go.
Yeah.
She does obsess, like seriously obsess over people.
Yeah. Bro.
Not Ryan, though.
No,
No, and it's never been. And a huge thing that he's been very adamant about is, I can't look at all this stuff. I can't accept all this stuff because it means that our relationship was never real. Well, Ryan, I know you watched these videos too. Dude, I hate to break it to you, but it really never was real. We've seen all of your communications other than your phone calls. And if you don't get that, then you're not very intelligent. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just like, she straight up told you she's not interested in you.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you
over and over?
a murderer's sex slave? That's really odd, especially since you're you were a special ed teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who was perceived to be special ed, to have mental handicaps. You're going after her. That's really weird to me too, personally.
Yeah.
Well, and
Ryan,
I don't want to defend Ryan, but we also seen in emails where she was saying like she pushes people away. So I think part of him thought that that's what she was doing, but also she went so far he had to realize it was more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Sorry. Her marrying him meant that she didn't have to go to her dad's, right? Yeah. And so there's two, like he's going to say yes, he's going to marry me. I'm going to have means to an end with this little problem I have.
Yeah, and we talked about it with Paul before when we were talking to him, but it seems like Christy and Rod's relationship was very tumultuous. They had talked about getting a divorce. Rod had talked about moving away to Canada to be with the cookie lady who owned a cookie shop, and I don't think she was able to live in Canada, with her parole, right?
She could have lived with Ryan without marrying him, though, and they did discuss it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't required to home plan to him.
Okay, so I'm so
I
sorry.
think that was really just a trigger Keen.
I'm sorry if I spread some misinformation in
you're
your
fine.
thing, but now that you're going to be editing it, you know that is apparently not accurate. That was my bad.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. Now, also another thing too, like thinking back to watching the TV show, and I get it when we're only seeing so much on the reality TV show and what they're presenting and all this, but you could tell watching it that the whole Ken situation, when it came into the forefront of the TV show and was like introduced to the viewer, there was way more going on there because of the way Ryan was reacting to it. I was like, this dude is like getting pressed over this situation. Like, you can tell this is a conversation. This man's name comes up all the time in this household. And Gypsy also kind of seemed like the type person, even then, that I was like, she seems like she would use someone to make someone else jealous or to keep them on their toes, you know, like to like kind of just drop his name here and there, whatever. But now learning this, where I'm like, oh, it was way more than this. She was probably keeping this very open line of communication. Also, you saw from the family or her stepmother, I can't remember her name now, but whoever the stepmother is, thank you. I mean, she was a huge Ken fan. Like, they didn't like Ryan. Like, that was to me very apparent, where I'm like, none of this family seems to even like this man, except for the dad. He seemed to be kind of decent with them, but the little bit where they interacted. But yeah, that's just so weird. So is Ryan still like completely simping for her now, or is there like bad blood? Like, where are they at?
I mean, he refuses to outright
Spill the beans.
well, not even spill the beans, but it's like he refuses to look at the evidence because, like what I just told you, he says that like it makes him feel like it was never real, and he just can't accept that, and it's like a cope for him. And I get it; it's hard, and I do empathize with him in certain ways because it's like, yeah, she used you, but you were also kind of being weird too, so you're not entirely innocent in this. But
Isn't it weird how he manipulated two men like that, though, to keep secrets for her?
I'm sure it's not just two men. She still got Ken some way, somehow. He doesn't seem that interested, but he's still around to some extent.
Ryan did see one video. I don't remember which one he said it was, but he was having a little freak out about it on live. He was like, think I like seeing that shit? No. He's like, that is not a turn on. He said, I didn't know her. She never wore wigs with me. And said no characters of any kind. But then we found in the prison emails where she told him she wanted to try furry sex. And he sent something, and she replied in the email and said, thanks for the picture. I like the furry fox costume best. Now for my costume, it's going to be a pink husky with cleavage. So we think Ryan tried on a fox costume. Not that there's anything wrong with being a furry, but he claims he never knew nothing about no characters, and seems like he did.
What does the fox say?
I mean,
People keep trolling with that.
And like looking back on it, I'm just like, I mean, I just remember that drive home from prison with them and how awkward that was. And then going to the house and like him touch it, because he was so excited to get, I think it was a motel they stayed in the first time where, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, even if they were like into each other, I was like, she just got out of there and he's being so needy and clingy with her. And I'm like, dude, like, don't be near her right now. Like, she just got out of, whatever. But now it's just like, oh yeah, she didn't want him.
But she was participating in phone sex and stuff with him.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
Well, and she didn't want it, but we know because of the show she still put out, because that girl was always trying to get some.
I thought the D was
Ryan claims that she had sex with him the morning she left him for Keen.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I would believe that.
How close does Ryan live to her stepdad? I'd say the parents, but like the stepdad and the the dad and the stepmom.
Like an hour, right?
It's about 2 hours away. He's closer to Texas, and they're closer to like Mississippi.
Okay. And where does Gypsy and Ken live in relation to each of those people?
I think they're keeping that under wraps right now, somewhere near New Orleans.
Okay. And so her and Ken are not legally married.
No.
Not even engaged.
Which I find so interesting.
She has a history of trying to get people to propose to her. Like in the videos that we've just released, she talks about like,
she bought a ring.
She bought a ring and she's like, this is how you can propose to me, and this, that, and the other. And Ken and her were engaged when she was in prison. But now that they've come out, it seems to be a real sore spot for her.
She did that with every man she talked to in her prison emails, suggested ways and scenarios that they could propose.
Yeah.
Didn't she, Millie, are you knowing, or do you know, sorry, didn't she kind of do that with Ryan too, though, that she had got a
Yes.
ring from somebody so she could wear it?
Stole a ring, or not stole a ring, like got a ring on the prison black market and was wearing it, but then got it taken away because it wasn't on her property inventory.
Yeah.
Got to write up.
She got a lot
I
of
think
write
she
up.
did that twice.
I think
can't
she
remember
did
for
too.
sure.
It feels like she did.
Yeah.
With Nick, she bought a ring, and then she made a video specifically telling him she bought it. She showed him the receipt and everything, and it made us wonder if he got uncomfortable with her stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, because I mean, she tells him how to steal. I mean, she gives him a whole tutorial on how to steal, and then she talks about
Apparently wasn't
how
very good.
yeah, and then she talks about how Damona is a really good stealer, and she showed all the baby clothes that she had been stealing and saving for their baby, and
expensive baby clothes too, like designer stuff. She's
Yeah.
like, Damona stole this from us, and she's
For
like, I
us,
know we're and she's like, I know that we're not going to have a lot of money coming in, but you don't have to worry because Damona will take care of everything. We'll be able to just steal this, steal that. Huh?
Look at this outfit. It's 30.
I just said Damona can help.
Now, I'm going to jump to a question about Nick's interrogation because it's been I don't even know when I watched that last year since I've seen that. In his interrogation, like the original one or that you have on your channel, what is he saying took place in that? Like, is he sticking, like, what kind of story is he presenting? Like the original before he's like, talking to lawyers, all this type stuff. Like, what's the vibe?
He's never changed his story.
no, he's never changed his story. Basically, that Gypsy, said that they couldn't be together unless her mom was dead, and he went there to save her and bring her home.
But he even calls her a good mom at some point, and
He actually felt bad afterwards because Gypsy, I guess, sat in the hotel room telling him about how great of a mom Dee Dee was.
Yeah, but she said he had to do that to her so they could be together. Then the whole time after, she was telling him how wonderful Dee Dee is and making him feel bad.
Yeah, and it's like she also never in any of the videos talks about her mom abusing her. I mean, she says that she's a bulldog of a mom and protective, and she does say that like she won't let her date and that she won't help them with their finances when she moves out. But
Well,
I mean,
she said she won't let her date until she's mature enough.
Yeah, mature enough.
Which I don't know. I don't know what's true, first and foremost. But then also it's like if Dee Dee really did believe that she was, mentally incapable, or, even just the things she was seeing Gypsy do. I mean, Gypsy trying to murder her with the BB gun and the
dagger.
It's like I don't know. I can't say that I don't understand her being kind of wary of Gypsy being with some dude,
And Nick even says that he tried to kill Dee Dee 3 times, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and there's one that he'll never talk about. So,
yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that he does say that there's stuff that he'll take to his grave revolving around the murder. And it's like, what is it? And, it's almost like Gypsy.
He's still protecting her?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
But it's also like Gypsy, and I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theory. I don't know what happened. Nobody does. But Gypsy didn't help out with the murder, but did Damona? Did Ruby? Did somebody else? Because in his mind, they're all different people.
Well, and she even said in the interrogation that she was 19, and in the video where she talks about her altar, she says that her evil side is 19.
Yeah.
So,
hey, can I ask a quick question about the video where his stepdad and the brother says Arthur said she did it?
we don't know who Arthur is.
Who is Arthur? We don't know.
No.
The only Arthur I've found in this whole situation is Arthur Sam, and he's tied to VisionCon.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that what his brother was trying to say, whoever Arthur is, that was more like people sitting around a table being like, oh my God, they've been arrested. And Arthur being like, that bitch did it. And the kids saying, Arthur said, you know, she did it or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that it was some confession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense, but I did want to yell, ask the kid more questions.
Right.
Yeah. And
Let him talk.
Well,
yeah,
they
and
didn't let
Bobby go to John, watches and gets in chat sometimes. So if you want to tell us who Arthur is, let us
please,
know.
Bobby, let everybody know who Arthur is.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to know. NPG. I mean, you guys are around. Tell us who Arthur is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really confusing. But even with Nick, I mean, you wanted to tell the detective, shut up and let him talk or ask him questions.
No kidding.
Now, okay, I have another Nick question, but it's like a fast forward one. Where does Nick stand today? Because I've heard that thing where he talks about there's things he's not going to speak of, or blah, 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 which I think is fascinating how she's able to get all these different men and people to withhold, you know, whatever that could be, right? Is he still standing by like, yep, this is what it is? Or is he threatened in any way? Like, well, I'm going to come out with the truth, or is he aware of the narrative of Gypsy, how it's turned with the general public from what it was to what it is now?
So as far as I think anybody really knows, he's not really talking to anybody. He says that he realizes he's been used, but he's never come on and changed his story in the very beginning. Since you watched the videos, the audios of him talking to the lady with the accent, Sophia, basically they twisted his story, and after that he refuses to talk because it was used against him in trial.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just, I mean, Paul, there's been a lot of like weird things happen to Nick while he's been in prison, people contacting him and like trying to get him to say things to make him look worse than what he might actually be.
There was a whole infiltration group, literally called the Nick Infiltration Group, to try and weasel their way in there and do Lord knows what.
Well, it was at the same time when Gypsy was trying to be released from prison. You know, she was petitioning the governor to get clemency or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
like with peace and love, just leave Nick be. Let him be peaceful in prison. That's where he belongs. Just let him vibe out there, and he doesn't need people coming in, and he's really not gonna, I don't think he's ever gonna budge on the Gypsy thing. So
Right.
just let him be at peace.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, this recent thing that Gypsy did, so she had her TikTok account, she gave it to somebody, and like she has it back, whatever. What the little bit that I see, because she'll come up in my like For You page or whatever, and I usually am like swipe, like I can't with this or whatever. What is her latest business venture? Because I felt like when she started her new TikTok account, it was like, this is going to be this and this new like version of me. Has she already abandoned that and gone back to something else? Like, what is her most recent little, I call them business adventure or ventures or whatever. She kind of reinvents
She's
herself
found
and then
God.
does something. She what?
Found God.
Oh,
yeah, she's a podcaster now and she wants to start a group at her church, and
Which is scary because we see the worst of the worst latching onto the Christian faith, and they just sink their claws in there. I mean, how many molestation cases come out, and it's, you know, pastors, preachers, priests, or you know, Micah Miller with John Paul Miller doing all of that crazy stuff.
Predators know where to go.
They do, and they're I mean, they're protected. You know, in Missouri right now, there's a huge thing, Kanakuk. It's we were talking about it the other day in our chat, but yeah, Kanakuk is like a Christian camp or something, and they were harboring predators. Like they knew that people were preying on children, and they were while the guy was going through his trial, I believe, or something, he was like allowed to stay on the campus.
Something
like
And congregation members are very giving a lot of times. I think that's also her angle, because we have where her mom was going and talking to congregations and getting help.
Yeah. A lot of churches will pay your electric bill, or they'll do this, they'll do that. It's like, oh, I'm having this problem, please help me, and the thought is like, in Christianity, we're supposed to forgive, we're supposed to not judge or be judged. And they're like, well, if you've turned your life to Christ, then it all must be fine and dandy. And that's what people are even saying about like Michael Tate, the dude from the Newsboys that's been raping a little boy, or not little, well, who knows, but young men for 30 years, and people are still defending him. And he admitted to it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's a lot of churches that exist that just believe people. And I guess, whatever. But at the end of the day, those are usually the ones where things happen. So without discerning good people in these places, paying attention to who's coming in the door, it can get really bad. And
yeah,
I don't believe that a woman who murdered her mother and never spent any time changing while she was in prison for 8.5 years, and then has come out and wreaked havoc and chaos online all over the place. She hasn't changed, and so therefore I'm not going to give her that benefit of the doubt.
And we don't
Well, and
expect
she was
perfection. What's that?
she was online last night trashing people. It wasn't very Christian of her.
Yeah. And I mean, we're all guilty of gossip or doing stupid things, from time to time. But Gypsy's consistent pattern has always been manipulation, triangulation, and chaos.
Yeah, we don't expect anybody that's just come out of prison to be perfect. I was agreeing, there was like some viral video that came out maybe a couple months after she got released, and it like, Gypsy's going to do some messed up stuff, but you guys need to remember, that once you get out of prison, you can't expect somebody to live a normal life after all the torture she's been through. And I agreed. And a lot of people are still in that mindset. Like, people see one viral video, or like they hear one good like comment, and it just sticks in their brain, like the no perfect victim thing that people have been spewing. Yeah, I agree. There is no perfect victim, but that also applies to Dee Dee, who was the ultimate victim. And, I'm not saying that nothing traumatic ever happened to Gypsy one time in her life. I don't expect her to be normal after having, in the very least, a weird childhood, and then, going to prison for, almost 9 years. But it's like, I don't know. We can't just allow her to get away with all this stuff and not at least call her on her stuff. Yeah.
I have a quick question back to her time in prison and the rehabilitation dynamic of it. We talked briefly about this when we talked earlier, but I want to see if y'all could add context. So, yeah, while she was incarcerated, do y'all have any like information on that she did this kind of counseling, or she did this, or she did that? Because I think it's very interesting if she just spent her time kind of hanging out, hustling, doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then got out and just kind of was like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing now, as opposed to, oh, wait, I just came out of this really messed up situation. Let me better myself as best as I can. Kind of back to that authenticity, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
She did.
documentation.
Yeah, she
We
did.
see her.
Oh, go ahead,
Go
Millie. Sorry.
You're good. Go ahead. I went first last time.
Go,
I
Audrey.
was just gonna say she did a few courses, but it seemed like the closer she got to getting out of prison, the less she was doing. So it was like she pretty much got, the lifetime contracts, the book contracts, and all that. And she was like, "Fuck it, I don't need to pretend or even try to be a better person, because look what I'm getting being who I am."
Yeah, and she did tell Kim Kardashian that she didn't qualify for a therapist, but that was just a big lie.
Not true at all. Your cousin.
Yeah, my cousin was in a whole wing called the Women's Empowerment Program at Chillicothe, and it's a group of women who have issues, and they take the classes that they need to change. And my cousin took those classes over and over and over and over again. She's got well over 100 credits, of classes she's taken, and she's only been there 3 years. And Gypsy was there for 8.5 and maybe got like 4.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
The
like Amber was
opposite there.
saying, she told Kim Kardashian that, one of the prison reforms she wanted to do was that she didn't qualify for therapy in prison that she needed. And we see in the prison emails, every time she has a breakup, she's like, I'm going to schedule an appointment with a therapist, talk about my emotions.
Yeah, it was all the time. And, with Kim Kardashian, just on a slightly lighter subject that I think you'll find is kind of funny. We just found this out super recently. Well, Millennial, I think, is the one who discovered it. But not Kim Kardashian.
My
Gypsy,
God.
was it Audrey? Oh, I'm so sorry if I'm giving credit to the wrong person. Sorry,
I'm sorry,
Audrey.
what?
Well, okay, so somebody found that Gypsy had been watching the Kim Kardashian Ray J tape right after the murder. Yeah,
that wasn't me.
That wasn't. Well, somebody found it, but yeah, she was watching the Kim K X Ray J tape right after all this stuff happened. When she was with Nick, and there was actually multiple celebrity sex tapes she was watching, and so
Jennifer Lawrence too, or she was looking up.
She looked for Chloe's.
Yeah,
Chloe, and I perceive it as she like mimics people a lot, so I almost wonder if she was trying to get like tips from like the most desired people in Hollywood, and kind of that's how I perceive it, maybe. But it's just so weird that she like met Kim Kardashian, and it's like, girl, you were watching her tape like right after the crime, which is like insane. I wonder how Kim feels about that, because I'm sure someone floated that information to her, because she doesn't.
So the infamous video, he was eating a brownie and he'll be eating me, where her and Nick are in the hotel
No.
after the murder.
Paul, there's
or I've blocked it out, right?
Okay, so this was one of the first videos to come out. Like, it came out during trial time, like after the murder. And it's Gypsy and Nick in the days in after the murder, and they've ordered pizza and a brownie from Papa John's. And Gypsy's videoing him, and she's like, he is eating a brownie. But later he will be eating me. Well, Audrey found something interesting in her laptop search and history.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
From right after that order.
Yeah, they made the order online, and their next Google search was how to make pizza porn.
I cannot.
Audrey,
This is right after the murder.
Those have been really eye-opening, you going through those searches and what you've revealed in those, finding the shelters and the end that Dee Dee may have been shipping Gypsy out. And also the bracket that would go on the back of that cube because her motorized wheelchair wouldn't fit in the car. And people were like, oh, maybe, but she was trying to accommodate for that, it looks like. So really interesting.
She was trying to accommodate for it. And it's wild because Gypsy always says, oh, my mom got that so that she could get me out of the motorized one and control me more. But it's just like, it seems like she makes these claims, and then, I mean, she never thought the evidence would come out, obviously, but there's like no forethought to the fact that she makes these claims and they're so easily, like proven wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the claim Audrey's talking about, where Gypsy says that she thinks Dee Dee chose the cube to make it harder, have more control over her because she had to use the folding wheelchair. Her motorized wouldn't fit in it. She said that in her 2024 memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is recent.
Yeah.
Can you send me the clip of that, Millie, or the screenshot of it where she says that? Thank you, babe.
What was the vibe when? Because I totally forgot that Kim Kardashian met with her. I remember seeing like a clip on TikTok. What was Kim's? Well, first of all, what was the point of that? Like, what was Kim doing? Was it about prison reform?
Yeah, because that's a big thing for Kim is the prison reform. But she looks pretty uncomfortable to me in it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the vibe I got from the literal 5 seconds of it that I watched. I was like, I can't. And again, most of the time I'm in the frame of mind of I can't with Gypsy Rose when she comes up. Like, it's I can't. And I was like, how did she meet Kim Kardashian? And yeah, because I think that Gypsy kind of wants to be a Kim Kardashian.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she wants like to be that level of, like, for lack of better terms, influencer or whatever you might consider that. And like behind the scenes, Gypsy was probably just trying to work that situation as much as she could. And
Oh,
Kim
yeah.
was like, if Kim even talked to her when the camera was off, because I could see that being like,
Yeah.
girl, no, it was just not going any further than this.
Well,
Um,
I do think they did talk behind the scenes because didn't Ryan say how nice she was? And he wasn't in the clip.
Probably right before the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I clocked during that show is when Gypsy was talking to her about prison reform, Kim said, well, I can set you up with the best team that can help you with that. And Gypsy, like, just her face just deflated. Like, she looked so disappointed. I think she thought her and Kim were going to run around prisons together.
Yeah, no, seriously, because a huge thing in the emails is she's always talking about advocacy, advocacy, advocacy. I want to get out and I want to speak to children and do all this stuff and I want to advocate. And then she gets out. She has that thing with, Kim. Clearly, as Malil just said, it seemed like she just kind of deflated when she realized it was going to be a team and not Kim. And then she gets out and she's like, oh, I feel like everybody has pushed this advocacy on me. But girl, if Kim Kardashian wanted to run around with you and start a TV show where you guys go and do this and that, you would have been all over it. She just wanted Kim Kardashian, who she knew was doing advocacy work, who was starting to do all that stuff right around the time of the crime. And she thought she was going to do something like that. And now she's only going back to doing some advocacy stuff because she got so much shit about everything else. And so it's whatever's convenient for her at the time, clearly.
Yeah, and she was just on this podcast about Munchausen by proxy, and one of the things that her and the host were talking about was the fact that Gypsy was basically forced into advocacy, but that is absolutely not true because throughout
Gypsy
the
tried to-
email, she wants to advocate.
Mhm.
Or say she tried to force herself into it. And if she had been serious about it, she would like stuff that I'm passionate about. If somebody had said, here's a team, work with them, hell yeah. Because I mean, I'm doing it on my own now. Why not work with a team? Like, I wouldn't care if it was the most popular person in the world or the least popular person in the world. If you want to help.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I mean, so from the perspective of the women at Chillicothe, because she was supposed to advocate prison reform and all that, they were very disappointed that she didn't do any advocacy except for her friend, Amelia Bird, who is
Very guilty.
very guilty.
Very guilty.
She did the same crime. She killed her mother, almost killed her stepdad, I think. And
Had her boyfriend do it.
Yeah.
And that's the only person Gypsy advocated for. And then she even went on a live and talked about all the women in the prison and what kind of people they were. She was just being a crap person.
When all of the evidence shows that she was being a lot worse in prison than the girls that were around her. She was actively the problem.
Mhm.
Anybody that we talk to kind of corroborates pretty much that she was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, do you know about her breaking her NDA with TMZ?
No.
Or NDA with Lifetime with TMZ?
No, tell me.
So whenever we found the prison emails, that's another thing we found. She was emailing with Charlie at TMZ. And just before she got out, she is the one who sent the information to TMZ that her and Ryan were going to be at the Chiefs game, that she wanted to try and meet Taylor Swift. She told them several different things she wanted to do to try and engineer a meeting with Taylor Swift. And then at the end said, and by the way, whenever you use this information, be sure and say a source, not that it came from me, because then I'd be in breach with my NDA with Lifetime.
That is so cringy. That is like painful. She really does view herself, in my opinion, of course, I don't know her, as like a celebrity. And if you look at like her growing up, where she was getting all this special treatment, like with the what is it called again, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and meeting celebrities and like just that whole narrative or whatever. Yeah, I remember when the Taylor Swift thing popped off, and I was just like, yeah, I don't think this is going to be a rude awakening moment of like, that's not how real life, you don't snap your fingers. And again, it's like she seems to have distanced herself, even though she'll verbally say things that seem to acknowledge why she is infamous, she seemed to kind of distance herself from the reality of it, which was this bloody, gruesome murder that she was associated with. And then obviously she had the kind of like the, oh, well, I was a victim of my mother situation. But even then it was odd. I was talking to, Amber and them before he came here, and I was like, I'm never going to be somebody who's like, oh, you went through this experience, so you should advocate for blank, or you should, you have to do that because of this. But it just seemed like a natural thing of you survive this. And this is, again, in the mentality of believing her story face value, right? Of, okay, this is a natural thing you went through. You would have so much to say about life itself, lessons learned, specifically Munchausen, specifically going through prison, specifically second chances, all this stuff, right? It's like, okay, yeah, get out, do blank for however long, get your life together. And this would just be a natural shoe in. And the more I saw it, it was just like, oh, she's just wanted to kind of like make TikToks and just, it was just like this. How have you taken this amount of time from when you were allegedly in one prison? Because she said actual prison, I was more free than the prison of my mom or whatever. I forget how she said it. But there was no growth. There was no nothing. It was like the same Gypsy, just 10 years older that we met. And it was like this almost instant disappointment to the public of like, oh, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. And she's never been able to, I don't want to say capitalize, because she did her book, she did this, but never, it's like she has all these chances given, like you were saying earlier, but nothing's ever done with it. It's kind of like piddled away.
Yeah.
And it's on to the next thing and on to the next thing. And it's just like, well, couldn't you just focus on one thing and just do that and run with it? Or, I mean, I don't know. Seems like a great chance to do so many things that just nothing's come of it.
She doesn't know who she is. She's just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. That's what the Blown Beauty art that she did and the podcast. She might, no episodes come out yet, Lord knows, but she just tries all these different things.
I think also it goes down to she was catered to as a child. In prison, you're not necessarily catered to, but somebody else is making your food, somebody else is making your schedule, somebody else is controlling your life. And then she came out and she wanted that instant gratification with no real work on her part. And it kind of reminds me of somebody that's always got that new get rich quick scheme.
That's a great way to say it.
Yeah, she's got a lot of pans in the fire, but nothing's cooking.
Now, you said this podcast that she's allegedly doing, that's the most recent thing.
Yeah.
And is it supposed to be a religious-based podcast, or we don't know?
We don't
It's
know.
for victims.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's been talking a lot about religion.
Yeah. And she's been talking about this for like a month or so now, and nothing's come out yet. She says she's still kind of working out the kinks and getting everything together.
Well,
But
no, something's come out, her talking to a wall.
I thought that was like a teaser or something, not the actual podcast.
Well, we don't know.
But that teaser thing that she released, we played it and it was fair use, and she copyright struck us. We got it put back on our channel, but she's went on a copyright strike spree recently, and I'm sure that's like a taboo. That's a no-no in the YouTube world. You don't false strike anybody for any reason. It's like also like the Streisand effect. It just brings more eyes to it. So
well, she struck a 3-hour live for a clip that was less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, she said that our whole entire podcast contained her stuff, but it was just a small bit of time, and it was fair use. And
she's back on Cameo too, right? Did I see that?
Yeah.
Yep, she's on Cameo.
Me too.
Yeah.
Has anybody done one? Has anybody done one? Right. Like, what is she doing on Cameo? Like, what are you getting her to do?
Oh, this one lady really got her Kindle.
Yeah, it's so pretty. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Kendall requested something along the lines of like, my mom and I are fighting. Do you have any advice for us or something?
Well,
she doesn't like
my mom
boyfriend.
doesn't like my boyfriend. What do I do?
And
did she legit respond?
Oh, she did. Totally.
She gave like a 3-minute response, and it literally was like a Chat GPT type response. And Kendall, like they said, was just trolling her. Hold on.
Yeah.
How much was it? Do y'all know?
like $50 or
I think
something?
it's like 50
$50.
or
She likes
I
that
don't know.
$50.
I don't know. If
I've
$50 make
thought
her
about
holler.
it.
no, you don't need to give any money to that lady. She'll find it some other way. That's no hate.
So,
But
yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask like another of her podcast thing. Or no, the one where she struck you. So she struck you for using like a clip of her thing or whatever.
Mhm.
So did you go back to YouTube and say, "Hey, no, this isn't correct," and they sided with you?
yeah,
Yeah, and she had 10 days to take us to court.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she didn't.
we
So
appealed it, and now a convicted murderer has all of our information.
Mhm.
So that's how shit works.
and military broadcast radio didn't even
File an appeal.
file an appeal because Joel's just like, I don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, she also struck military broadcast radio, a veteran run
On
501c3
Facebook
charity.
and did she get us on Spotify? I
don't
can't
think
remember.
so, but regardless.
She got us on a bunch of different,
And it was right after she's like, I'm in my new era where I'm not going to care what people are saying. Like, girl, come on. Come
Mhm.
on. Definitely anyone.
Also, like on that, so first of all, so is this from TikTok or YouTube? The
YouTube.
clip. So she has her
Oh,
own YouTube. Okay.
So no, it was actually a clip from TikTok, I believe.
I think it was on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Yeah. I forgot she's doing things over on Instagram.
Yeah.
So-
And she said that she makes the most money off of Instagram.
Yeah.
So I totally forgot about that even being a thing. But yeah,
And
money
how
off-
is she making money off of Instagram?
couldn't tell you.
Have no idea.
I don't know if they have like an AdSense program, maybe.
I didn't even know you could make money over there.
You can make money off of your interactions, kind of like you can with TikTok, is how she's able to do it. But you have to have at least, I think it's like 10,000 followers and so much interaction, kind of like TikTok is. Like it's almost the same.
Yeah.
So I just pulled up, I just typed in Gypsy Rose on YouTube because now I'm like, again, investing like so much of my life. This is what I do. Does she have an actual YouTube channel? Because everybody else, like there's this cinnamon toast dude I did a video,
Yes.
Ready to Glare, Conspiracy. I mean, so does she have an actual YouTube channel anymore?
She did.
I
I
think
don't know.
Good.
It must be like a family vlog channel almost after she said she's not going to monetize.
She
her
keeps putting it up and taking it down like everything else. So it's hard to know if it exists right now or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
She has a tendency to do that with it. So, okay, let me jump back over here. Sorry, now I'm getting all flustered and excited. Okay, so the TikTok that she gave away, did y'all remind me? Did she take that back from the person and now she has her 10 million account back too? So she has
Yes.
2 TikTok accounts.
Yeah.
So one's just like the I want to be Kim Kardashian, and the other one's going to be like a podcast, maybe.
I
Allegedly.
guess.
One's she said, I think the reason why she said that she created the new one is because a lot of people followed her right out of prison and they don't really engage. She doesn't get a lot of engagement on the 9 million account. And she definitely doesn't after she let Bree get on there.
Mhm.
And Bree also kept getting like taken down and reported on lives because you're not supposed to be able to give your TikTok account away like that, especially a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I talked to Bree and we had already talked about how if I wanted it back, I could get it back. But yeah, she created the new one because she's like, well, anybody who follows me is really following me. And then, her follower count went up and up and up. But there's a lot of proof to show, Reddit on like GRB Snark, they'll show like, what is it? Social Blade or something. And it looks like she's buying
Talk counter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like she's buying followers. So I don't know.
But
We're-
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say we're all as confused as you are, Paul. We're just
Oh.
watching.
It's a shit show.
Well, I mean, it's like, and again, like you sit here, like me already here, like, okay, let me look this up. And just because again, the FOIA videos that y'all did, I mean, I haven't watched all of them because I literally have to do it in doses because it's nauseating.
Mhm.
It
The
really
stuff
is.
that she's saying, and like you said in the thing, like there's tons of them that they didn't release because they're so whatever, like nudity or whatever. But just the ones that I've watched, I mean, it is nauseating, and the weird wigs and the things that she's saying, and and I'm always like this. I'm like, look, but I'm not going to yuck somebody's yum. Like if it's two consenting adults and nobody, whatever. But this ended up in such murderous, gross, like I'll just say underagey vibe stuff that I was just like, this is really, 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 really bad. And that's where with the FOIA stuff, I started really being like, okay, yeah, there's no way. She was very smart to take her deal and not go to trial.
Yeah.
Because like we
Yeah.
said, she would never step foot outside of prison if like this had gone to trial, all this stuff had come out. Like absolutely. I can't believe she only got the amount of time that she got, but we kind of spoke about that too, like some of the possible reasonings.
Those videos had one job, and that was to get Nick here to Springfield and to do what that's all it was.
Yeah.
Thank you, Soda Freak.
Also with the sentencing, I think because she was a first-time offender, they couldn't even give her the max sentence. I think they had to let her out early when they
After
did.
85%.
They had actually denied her parole a couple times, if I remember correctly. But then it came to the point where she had to be let go. She had no prior record. So it is how it is. It's how the law works.
Well, they didn't have to give her 10 years in the plea deal, but once she got the 10 years, they had to let her out at 8.5 because that was her 85% max.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah. And like and just like I said, the only reason I fell down this rabbit hole is because my cousin's there for 25 years for drugs. So, you know,
I think too with the videos, because I was making one and I flipped over and I saw Ashley making one. I'm like, are we making it about the same video? And we weren't. And then my sister showed me a clip and she's like, no, you played that on Into the Weeds podcast. And so it's because they're the same. Like you have to really pay attention for the little nuggets that you pull out, but they're the same. And so you just get numb.
You really do. And I genuinely haven't like listened to all of the videos. I just scanned them for nudity.
Right.
And popped them up.
And one of the things we scanned for nudity had a little spot in it that we almost put on air. I'm so glad that we had some intuition to take it off for a second. Oh my goodness gracious. And we didn't want to see any of that. They were supposed to take it all out.
Yeah, so her show or her YouTube channel used to be called Magic and the Chaos, but I don't know what it is now.
Wait, that's what Gypsy's thing used to be called?
It
Or
used to
somebody
be,
else?
The chaos.
Okay. Hold on, let's see here.
Who knows if it still exists on there? I've never looked any of this stuff up. It's just annoying. It's just really annoying.
Yeah, it is.
But
And there are rabbit holes within rabbit holes. And like I told you before, anytime we think we've got something figured out, it like blows up and it's like, oh, it was even more crazy or whatever. And it's just like, I get to a point where, you know, I wasn't like a Gypsy Rose content channel. We weren't, you know, we were just kind of covering it every once in a while when we'd get a FOIA, you know, and so for us to be like considered a Gypsy Rose channel now is kind of weird. And I didn't plan on that.
But hey, it is what it is, and it's important information that deserves to get out there. But hopefully start covering some cases where we can actually make a real change. You know, it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also by doing this, like you said, like, I mean, this definitely is important work I think you're doing. And then you're also kind of like going through, like when that next case, whatever that is for you comes up, it's like, look at all the legwork that you've done. You know what I'm saying? Like you've kind of gone through these motions on so many things. You'll be able to be like, oh, let's do it this way and that way and blah, 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 blah. And like, let's navigate this in this capacity or whatever you choose to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The Lawton serial killer is what we're trying to work on. So if we can ever get any information, I think I'm actually going to have to go to Lawton and hang out there for a few weeks. But it's something that I really want solved. That and the Athena Hogan murder and the disappearance of Michelle Hogan.
And justice
Or
for Jelani
Michelle
Day.
Crawford. Sorry. Yes. So we're just
Teron Evans.
Yeah, I'm just a disabled veteran who got a mic and a camera, and this is what's happened.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you did it.
I am too. And, it's been interesting. And I thank goodness, thank God, I met Nancy and Millennial and Audrey and Ashley.
Haven't met Audrey in person yet, though.
Yes. Well, yeah. And hey, if anybody doesn't know, Audrey and Alora and I may be actually related.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
twist.
it's like related.
Yeah. We have so many.
Not like just saying it.
We're not like directly related, but we have so many of the same family names that there has to be some kind of crossover somewhere.
Some connection in there. So
That is wild. Let me ask you this now. I'm going to say this. I'm going to have to get ready to go because I've got to run out the door here in a minute. I know y'all are going to Crime Con next year. What about the rest of y'all? Is everybody go? Like, what's the deal?
In
Are y'all
May.
go in May? Or I'm sorry, not next year. Yeah, in May.
Yeah, Nancy's
So-
going.
Okay, cool. I'll hopefully meet you there.
I was planning to, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to this year. I was last year. I got to meet one of your associates.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, Shayna. Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I'm going because I work like a regular job and I would get off work and go and spend like 24 hours and just the ticket alone's like $800. So I'm just
Yeah.
not really sure if I'm going or not.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, here's some out next year, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder where it's going to be after this year. They always like wait to make you get there to find out or whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully Chicago or St. Louis.
Yeah. That is
Or
far.
by a beach.
Ooh, a beach. Nice.
Yeah, I hate
know,
to
can you
be.
imagine? Yeah, every year I'm like, this is the last one I'm going to go to, and then I get there, and it's just like it's such a great time, and you meet so many wonderful people and whatnot.
Mhm.
I had to cancel last year, so that's why this year I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going. The Vegas one was the first one I ever went to, so this will be like a full circle. Like here we are,
Okay.
and
You
now
know
I know
what?
how to. Hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I just said nice.
Yeah.
I was going to say what's going to be even more shocking this year for me is seeing all the posters of all the missing people and the banners. Like it's just going to hit different with what we know now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just so many missing people.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they
Yeah.
get a lot of good information out there and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, there's a lot of some of Crime Con seems a little like showboaty and a little insensitive at times, but the amount of exposure that it just gets out there makes it worth it 100% to me, even if there are a couple downsides.
Yeah,
to
well,
it.
even just seeing the way that people have responded to Maggie,
Yes. Oh my
Brittany
goodness.
Phillips' mother,
Coolest person ever.
What
yeah.
really surprised and touched me was how many people like Maggie come to CrimeCon and set up just to get attention from podcasters for their missing relatives, their missing people.
A lot of people are trying to push legislation, just make the world a better place after their crime.
Yes.
And you learn all about that too. It's so interesting.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Worth it
Mhm.
100% in my opinion for just the people you meet and the stories that you get to hear, because a lot of times the mainstream media doesn't cover something because it's not salacious enough, and they hook on to one or two stories for one reason or another. And I'm not saying those stories don't deserve to be covered, but it's like there's so much that happens all the time that nobody ever knows about, and it is just as important as the big cases, the Gypsy Roses, the everything else. And so I really like the light that it can shine on these people that are suffering.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Paul, for being here and
Thank y'all. This is a
recording with us
blast.
earlier.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Oh my gosh. This is a blast. It was great meeting all of y'all. And yeah, I'd love to come back
Yeah.
and sit there and how do you say it? Like, let me digest more gypsy stuff and questions and then come back and like have another powwow session of it. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We'd love to let you pick our brains. And it was fun talking to you. And also, I just want to let you know, I listen to your stuff while I go on hikes. It's like I can listen to true crime stuff, but it's also like not too freaky. It's kind of like a casual, like you're listening to a friend talk kind of vibe. So like I like that on my hike.
That's sweet. I appreciate that.
Even
Hiking is a
though-
good thing to do.
I was just gonna say, even though Dave Politis would tell you, don't wear a dang earbud while you're hiking.
Yeah, I probably should be listening to true crime while I'm hiking too, because I'll like be like, oh, am I gonna get murdered? Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Listening to you, David Plaitis, Laura Lodge, like the missing enigma. Yeah, I'll get. I would too easily become one of those cases because I love hiking, but I'm also exactly the person that'd be like, yeah, it's weird. He just disappeared into thin air, but it would be my fault. 100%. It would be 100% my fault of doing something. So
You just gotta be safe and stay at home. That's what I do.
I know, right?
Hey, that's boring.
Well, thank you so much for popping on. It was really nice.
Thank you. This is so much fun. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the stuff y'all been all of you, the timelines, the work, all that. It's so fascinating. It's such a rabbit hole, and I greatly appreciate it. So, and thank you to all your viewers for a warm welcome. This is a great little crowd over here, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Y'all sofa is great.
Yes, and thanks to all the Sofa Squad members that kind of flocked over here to see this. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, all the little sofa squad people are over here too. I saw Emily. There's Emily. Yeah. So this was a lot of fun. Let's definitely do this again, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Yay. All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful evening. I'm running out the door. I will take care. Y'all take care and we'll talk soon.
Okay. Have a blessed evening, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, that was really fun to have Paul on here asking questions because most of the people who come on here knows a little bit of about what's going on. So we recorded that with Paul, and then last week I think it is, I got interviewed by a major publishing or a magazine. And so we're waiting for that to come out. It was supposed to come out this week. She said early this week, but she sent some more follow-up questions and she's taken a lot longer. So I'm really hoping that she's looking into the case and actually doing her due diligence because we really haven't seen that.
And this is big. So
yeah,
I'm hoping for the best. Hoping for the best here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff coming. I mean, we've been reached out to by authors who are wanting to write books and stuff, and boy,
there's stuff moving behind the scenes in more place than just one.
So. Yeah, and I'm just stunned that they're actually even coming to me. I mean, I guess I didn't realize when I put the FOIAs out that it would
make you think of it.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to be the face of anything.
No.
Nobody, and I want to make that very clear. Everybody's voice matters. There should be no face of this. Once any movement gets a face, then it can just be it can be complicated, and nobody needs that. Everyone's voice is important, and we really appreciate the work that everyone's doing.
Yeah.
What you can accomplish when nobody needs the credit, we just
right.
Absolutely. I think our group is pretty good about not really caring about, how that stuff comes down. And I think that makes us really strong.
Yeah.
We're all different. We're all so different. We bring something so unique to the table.
Yeah. And I'm usually trying to catch up and figure out what the heck you guys are talking about.
Yeah. We always push people y'all's way because you guys are great sources of information. We're like, listen to these people. We can give you a good general outline, but if you want the facts and you want the timelines and the emails.
So what do you guys think Gypsy's going to do next?
Cry.
Not yet, baby.
Probably start a cycle again. Maybe cheat on Keen.
Yeah. Yeah, she has those patterns and she's going to find another grift or whatever. And thank you, Mandy J UK. We love you.
I wonder when the baby's going to kick in. I mean, when I had a toddler coming up on a toddler, like I was exhausted. It just
yeah.
Seems like she must have someone doing a lot of babysitting to not be tired.
Yeah, she's got a lot of help.
I know I was a pain. That's for darn sure. So I can only imagine. I was the worst ever.
Baby and 3-year-old Alora.
Well, it's just a dynamic of a relationship too. Whenever that baby gets up and starts moving and isn't napping and needs full time everything. I mean, they already need full time, but you know what I'm saying? Like you don't get the hour naps whenever they're a toddler. You don't get the lack of frustration. They're not just cute and smiling. They start arguing with you. And accidentally breaking stuff, you know, like it's
And
not all
annoying.
rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, when she starts to develop a personality, and if that personality clashes with, Gypsy's perfect world that she's trying to create, I can see that being very difficult for her.
Yeah.
Having to just deal with what it is to be a mom.
Yeah.
She might want to be totally opposite of Gypsy's vision of her. Wonder how she'll react.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I pray that somebody, whether it be Gypsy or Ken, or she ends up somewhere else, that she can have a good life, because she does not deserve all of the crap that, her mom is putting her through. And for the love of God, what happened?
Joy. Where did it go? Joy said something. Stick a cucumber up there is what she said.
Whoa. Oh, with Gypsy?
Yeah.
Oh, so that no more kids come. Oh, goodness.
Hey, Audrey, you had sent off for the video of her giving Nick a tour of the bedroom and then leading to the side of the bed where her mom was going to be sleeping, and showing Nick how to do this whole thing. Number one, wow. Like, to see her go to all this length, and it's so quiet. I can hear Eric Church in the background. So I wonder if she's being quiet because Dee Dee's in the house and she's making this instructional video. But also, like, she even uses her left hand to show Nick how, like, it's mind-blowing how this was not premeditated first-degree murder.
Right.
After seeing that.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
No kidding.
Didn't Mike say after that the death penalty was on the table, that it was a possibility?
Mhm.
And then he was somehow able to spin the Munchausen by proxy story and get it down to a plea deal.
Yeah, I wonder if that was the video that really did it. Was like, oh, shoot.
I thought he said that. He mentioned
Okay.
it.
He does mention it. He said that whenever he's seen that in court for the first time, that he says, I seen it in court for the first time, and that he's doing the interview for one of the shows. I can't remember which one it was. And they just kind of sit on his face, and he just looks like a lost child. He's just like,
Didn't he say that was a hard pill to swallow or something like that?
Mhm.
And
But you
then-
have a longer, we haven't seen the full video where she starts at the door, right? And goes in through, wow.
yeah, that was the full video. We've only ever seen the clips of her standing right at the bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious as to what the hell happened to Stanfield. Like, genuinely. I wonder if they had a falling out, or if she just couldn't afford him anymore, or he's just like, man, this stuff's coming out. It's going to make me look bad. I got to take a step back.
He's probably still around.
Yeah, my guess is she just ran out of money for the official manager job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's just my guess.
Yeah.
Oh, how sweet. He wanted grandma.
Yeah. She probably did. Sorry.
Ran out of money.
Sorry about that.
Snowflakes and fireflies. Yes, he does have a wife.
Yes. Mhm.
So I
But-
really,
What? I was just going to say, but that didn't stop Gypsy from fantasizing about him in jail.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that so gross? I mean, it's embarrassing. It's like, I was telling somebody the other today, if embarrassment isn't your rock bottom, what is?
no telling with this girl, but I think Mike's not around because she doesn't have the shows and stuff. There's not contracts for him to sit there and make 10% off of or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
So what do you guys think? So I had given this live the title of What's Next and the podcast, but I thought it was important to let Paul just kind of ask us questions, because there are so many people that have those questions and really have never, I guess, felt like they had any real answers. I don't know if we actually gave any real answers or not.
As close as we could,
Yeah. But what do you guys think about the podcast that she was on?
I'm done with this weaponized therapy speak. I'm done. It's
I
ridiculous.
never listened to it. I haven't heard it.
I listened to 3/4 of the first episode. I couldn't
there's
get
2
into any more.
episodes?
Yeah.
Well, I never even watched the dang show she did, the Lifetime show. I can't. It's just so irritating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody did like an unlisted video type thing where I could go and watch it. But I think I spent like 10 minutes and I was just annoyed and I haven't went back. I've just been busy since, and then all day today I was fighting a headache. Otherwise, I probably should have watched it, but I refuse to watch it on any of that girl's platforms.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I get that.
I did, because I just wanted to see the dynamic between them, and I don't know. You can listen to it Misbehaving on Spotify or wherever. I mean, I don't know where the privately listed one is, but
Yeah.
People have been clipping it up on TikTok a lot, so you can probably
Yeah.
find most of it there.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw some
true.
of it clipped on Reddit, and that's all that I saw.
Yeah.
But again, like she was, I saw the thing where she was defending talking to Gypsy and saying, "Oh, you guys can't talk to us."
So most of my notes were okay. So the fact that the podcast is called Nobody Should Believe Me. I mean, that's a weird name for a podcast.
I thought so too.
Maybe
A lot.
no one would believe me, or
Yeah.
but no one should believe me. That just feels off. And then Gypsy talking about how she came out of prison and she automatically had like 9 million followers on Instagram, and then the TikTok just kept going up. It's like, no, she didn't automatically. I mean, Rachel Garlic was working on her social media before Ryan came around.
Have you ever reached out to Rachel Garlic? Because
I have.
I've been at least at one event that she was at.
I have reached out to her.
I just didn't see her.
Yeah, but we've never gotten together. I had wanted to have coffee with her or something, but it never happened. But also, she talked about how she was forced into advocacy. And we know from the emails, and then I pulled up a bunch of articles after she got out of prison about how she was talking about it being an advocate. And she acted like we put this on her, but no, she put this on herself way long time ago. And
Because she thought she'd be with Kim Kardashian, as Millennial said.
Well, she even mentioned in her prison emails flashing her status as a public figure when she get of inspiration when she gets out and stuff like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
When
so
she was irritated that Ryan's family wasn't that impressed with her.
mhm. Could you imagine
Like, wow,
the
yeah.
audacity of a mommy murderer? Oh, my husband's family doesn't like me.
I wonder why.
They don't
Y'all
like
never-
me for me. Well, no.
No, and she's pushing this I'm not burdened anymore. You know, okay.
Stop talking
Hey,
about it, too.
You know, Christianity is all about, you know, looking inside of yourself and changing the bad things that you do and being a better person for the world. You know, that's what it's supposed to be. I know it doesn't always look like that on other people, but you know, she's just constantly selling she's just selling this life of just chaos, and I don't even know what to say. It's
Yeah, I don't know.
she's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, I guess is all I can say. And it's just frustrating to always.
It's manipulation, right? And it's
I'm
all
gonna go see if we can fix this.
you know.
Uh-oh, Audrey, we're muting you.
I apologize. Sorry.
I just didn't want
I
any.
want to hear your personal conversation, just in case.
What'd you say? Sorry, Nancy.
No, it just goes back, I think, to manipulation. You know, she's manipulated her entire life. And I think some of that she did learn from Dee Dee, right? Manipulating people into getting money. And whether, I mean, Dee Dee had a sick kid, and how much that was manipulated, we still don't know. But, you know, she watched that work. And I just think everything she touches is wrapped in manipulation, and she can't help it. And so everything just looks so bizarre to a quote unquote normal person. She has no sense that that's just that's just how she is. And it's so detrimental, right? Because it just makes everything she touched look so tainted and weird because she's trying to manipulate and control everything.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
you know, we get a lot of pushback about, oh, we're not believing victims and we're not, a lot of people get upset because we're talking about a quote unquote victim, you know, but we've seen that she's more a perpetrator than she is a victim. And ultimately, like Audrey said, the victim died, you know, and the people who are calling us out and saying that we're doing these things for malicious purposes or whatever, it's like they don't even bother to look at any of the evidence. Like they just completely decide, oh, no, Gypsy said that, you know, we're not supposed to look at that stuff. So we're not going to look at that stuff and we're just going to believe Gypsy no matter what.
And it's like at one point I would have like majorly agreed, and I still do in some regards, because I know that some people just get questioned and questioned and questioned and never believed, and especially women. And I'm sorry, there are a lot of misogynistic comments that are made about her. She sucks, she does, but you know, a lot of things that are said about her are questionable, to say the very least. But yeah, like I don't want to question a victim, but it's like, where do we draw the line? Why do we just keep, I mean, a lot of things would be very different if we never questioned anybody ever. I don't know. Also, something that I was thinking of that I even put in the thumbnail, her laughing about Gypstein, her saying, oh, I wasn't trying to recreate my Gypstein era. I'm sorry, what? Especially as all of this stuff's coming out. And Gypsy, I don't really know if you know that much about Epstein because it has nothing to do with you. So you probably haven't spent that much time listening to it. But the shit that he's being accused of, the things that we're seeing that are coming out, that it's so much worse than I ever could have imagined. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of what we know, and that our administration hasn't erased from the files because they're still erasing stuff. And you're just gonna be like, haha, Gypstein, my Gypstein era. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because if somebody would have compared, and I have a dark sense of humor. I do. But if somebody would have compared me to Jeffrey Epstein, I sure as hell will not be on the internet and like, it's so cute. And then she like thinks that these people aren't making fun of her when they do the little dance videos. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Get some self-awareness.
Well, and I also wanted to say that all of the women who are on this panel right now have been through bad childhoods. A lot of really crazy crap that you guys just wouldn't even fathom. And we know what victims are. We have been victims. And to constantly have people questioning my integrity and y'all's integrity and why we're doing this. This is not about trying to shame somebody or trying to do any of that. It's all about truth. And we've been lied to so much all over the place. You know, it seems like we're constantly finding out lies that we've been told or that we're, you know, I think some people would say that the stuff that we say is conspiracy theories about Gypsy, right? You know, but they're not.
And I will say all day long, I believe with all of my heart that weird things would happen in that house behind closed doors. Like, they were both not right. And I completely, with my whole heart, believe that. But the narrative we were sold on Munchausen by proxy is not true. And, you know, it was her mom manipulating and, you know, saying things that we'll never understand or never know behind closed doors. Probably. That can't maintain that cheerful Disney, like something breaks at some point. And it probably broke on Gypsy a lot. And I believe that. But also the story we were sold is not the story. And that's not acceptable to be doing. And in the end, Dee Dee died. Dee Dee lost her life. And she worked very hard to make sure that happened. And that's
She really did.
When I was making the thumbnail for this video, I was trying to look up a crime scene photo to get like a picture of like the house or something like that. And not even thinking about it, when I Googled it, like the pictures came up. And, you know, we have on our Google Docs redacted pictures, but it's not because we redacted them. It's just because that's what they sent. But, you know, there are pictures that are out there that unfortunately show Dee Dee and everything that happened. And when you look at that,
Yeah.
it is such a brutal, it's
Yes.
so brutal.
Yes, it is.
Not just boom, you're gone. That is like scary. And that's why I feel very strongly. Well, there's a lot of reasons why I feel very strongly, but if Nick really did do that and he maintains that he did, jail under the prison, like that's insane.
I saw the picture for the first time. I saw it for the first time not that long ago, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Yeah, Laura and I saw it with Fancy after the Chillicothe incident, and that's why I was spurred to get my own copies.
I didn't know how bad it was.
I'm thankful that they redacted everything, and I
don't want to see it more than I have already.
yeah, and but yeah, at the end of the day, it's a brutal murder, and we're just pretending. Gypsy's just pretending like everything's fine. She didn't kill her in self-defense because Dee Dee was freaking asleep.
And people still to this day that, oh, she would have killed her if she. No, she wouldn't have. If you look at the facts, and I feel like I'm getting aggressive here. I'm not trying to be aggressive. It's just like I understood and I defended her for so long, even at CrimeCon. We've talked about it before, but I was even defending her to an extent at CrimeCon. But once you hit that pedo shit, I'm sorry, and especially her laughing about being compared to Epstein. Fuck you.
Well, and I think it's wild that she is out here screaming that I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. You don't get to cry that you're a victim when victimizing. That's called the perpetrator. There's a very clear definition, and those definitions do not change based off of emotion, and that's what she is trying to use to change them. And she runs around and still talks trash that we've easily proven wrong or proven isn't right that she is saying, or disproven, however you want to word it. Either way, she does it like Dee Dee's still walking around and could potentially have victims. Like, girl, give it up at this point. You are the perpetrator. Bottom line, end of story. They always want to say a perfect victim. And what even is a perfect victim? I hate that term. I know a lot of people on the panel don't like that term. But if you were to ask me, a perfect victim is somebody who died because they're done. Like, it's the ultimate crime. So that would make Dee Dee the actual victim.
100%. She's the only person. Well, no, she's not the only person that lost her life in this. The person that is the perpetrator of all of it is the person who has money, who's meeting Kim Kardashian, who's being defended by a bunch of people online. It's literally insane. And I don't know, man. And I try not to really like talk about like her friends or anything for the most part, but it's like, if you just, I'm not even going too much into it, but if you just look at the people she's hanging out with, you cannot convince me that if anybody normal wanted to be Gypsy's friend, that she would have had any of these freaking weirdos still in her life. I'm sorry. Like, like the people she's surrounding herself with shows like what kind of a person she is.
Hey, that's a good point, Gremlin or Gemini Rose. Turpin children are perfect victims. Gypsy is not and never will be. Yeah, I found the Turpin girls on TikTok recently. And I've cried several times watching some of their videos, and I'm not really a crier, but I've been crying lately.
You're not a crier.
Well, I did start crying yesterday when Laura came into the house yesterday and I was crying. She's like,
"Are you okay?"
And I was like, Johnny Gosh is in the Epstein files.
I get it though. I'm a crier. Well, I haven't cried as much recently, but historically I'm a crier. I get it.
It's just, I just don't know with all this Epstein file stuff coming out and we still got 3 million more pages and we don't even know what's in all of the 3 million pages that are there because we have to freaking search things. So that's a whole messed up system. But, I'm just like, I'm so done with people being crapheads, and I'm done with it. And I'm going to start speaking more about how I feel about things, even in my personal life, and yeah, I'm just done with all of this. It's frustrating. How do y'all feel?
Sorry.
You know how I feel about the Epstein files?
I don't know. I'm just emotional today. I don't know. I
No, those Epstein files are fucking ridiculous. And the fact that they are protecting all of the perpetrators of the abuse, they were not supposed to redact anything but victims. And I know that's not the victims that are sending them all these emails about victimizing children. Oh my
They
God.
let several victim names out.
Yeah, and pictures and stuff.
That had never been known before. Like I know because I'm running across them and Googling who is this person, and they're not known.
Well, and I
Brand new
found
name.
where, sorry.
No, you're good. I was done.
I found where in some of the emails they're doubled, like they're there twice, kind of like we see with Gypsy stuff. And in one, they have something blocked out, but in the next one, you have the name. So they didn't go and individual, like they just skated over it basically. But like you were saying, a lot of us on the panel have had our own little traumatic situations happen in our life. With that being said, I have taken very small doses of the Epstein files because the first night I really dug in, like I had really traumatic dreams all night. And I was like, yeah, this one's not for me.
I get it. I respect that. It's so.
Yeah, it took me a while to get into them because, half the time you don't believe half of what's out there anymore,
Who knows there has to be some red herrings in there somewhere, but.
A couple of people in the chat looked away for a minute, I guess. This is a tinfoil hat, y'all, because I read too many Epstein files.
I was going to ask you if you've been wearing that the whole time because I just now noticed it too.
No, I put it back on when we started talking about Epstein files.
It's a very beautifully made tinfoil hat.
No, wait, Gypsy's not in the Epstein files, though, right?
No, Munchausen by proxy is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
Munchausen by proxy is, and lots of other things.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, so much of it's articles and stuff that he looked at. Like he was looking at articles of Josh Duggar whenever he got arrested, or maybe not when he got arrested, maybe just when he got accused, because he would have gotten arrested like around the time when Epstein was dead. But yeah.
Have y'all come across the person that's always like sending really weird jokes that are just they're weird?
I saw one joke that had like, it really wasn't a joke. It was like really stupid. And I was like, why? I was trying to get it, but I couldn't get it.
I ran across a lot of those.
Weird stuff. I don't even know which ones you're talking about because I could think of a ton that would fit what you just described.
For example, there's one where it's like a clown at a birthday party. Do you know about that one?
No.
They say something about a clown goes in and he asks the kids to guess what's in his hand. And then he's like, oh, it's my dick. And then the dad like pulls him away from the kids and is like, you can't say that to the kids or else you're going to have to leave. And he's like, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm used to doing my adult show. I'll go and try again. And then he gets to the end and they're like, what's in your hand? He's like, oh, it's my dick. And then he leaves is like the whole ending of the joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what was even funny about that?
Yeah, I found some weird jokes like that. Yeah.
I feel like I sent this to y'all, but there was like, I don't remember all the details, but it was kind of racist. And it was like talking about some dude. Oh my God.
Oh, the guy in the box?
The dude that was on the toilet.
Oh, the toilet. Yeah.
The toilet. Oh my God.
I don't know why I thought he was in a box.
Weird as I don't even remember what it was, but
it was
like
weird.
him on the toilet and making these sounds and God, I don't even want to think about it. But I was like,
little known fact, tinfoil hats are really hot on the head.
Yes.
Didn't know.
That's your wig.
I went through the files and I looked up a bunch of like racist slurs just to see what would come up, and it was weird.
Overwhelming amounts of it. Yeah. I was looking up slurs and just weird things. I was trying to look up conspiracy theories, like adrenochrome and stuff, just in case. I'm not saying I believe anything, but like Lord knows what's really going on. Couldn't find anything about adrenochrome, but
No.
hope that doesn't get our video taken down because we're gonna get people's videos taken down.
Oh, well. Okay. Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Or are we ready to wrap it up for tonight?
I might have to wrap up
Okay.
soon because we've disconnected the Wi-Fi and my son's kind of having a meltdown.
Oh, no.
We're having fiber optic cables put in our neighborhood. And so yesterday, or was it yesterday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, we were supposed to do an interview with Paul and had to reschedule it for today because they shut our internet down. So
Worked out
Well-
perfect because we got to roll right into it. Hopefully you didn't get too tired of talking to us.
We're having to replace a plug because in our living room, whenever we bought our house, one of the plugs had like the baby thing over it.
Mhm.
And we were going to plug something in right there and we pulled the baby thing off and the whole face of it's missing. Like there's just wires exposed. I don't know how our house hasn't caught fire.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
Horrifying.
That's scary.
So
Okay.
that's why our Wi-Fi's down is because it's in the room where the power's off right now.
Okay.
Well, thank you, lovely people, for joining us.
Yeah.
And thank you to Paul and the Sofa Squad for tuning
Yes.
in. It was a good show. I think it was productive. So.
Yeah, it really was. And it kept us from having to talk about that boring podcast and all that stuff.
And that lady doesn't get clout from it.
No.
No, don't even
And-
know her name. Don't
And
want to.
even like the stuff I'm hearing about, I don't know, it's just really weird. And she's with Mark Feldman, and we all know that that's kind of weird too.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Well.
don't know. Wild. So I guess we'll see you guys all when we see you. We don't know if we're gonna do anything next week. We might do something about. Oh, we had talked about it. I don't know.
oh,
I might want to do stuff for Valentine's
you know,
Day.
I also wanted to, because I just remembered this, and I just wanted to thank everybody for keeping me busy today, because today is actually the day that my dad took his life in 2010, and my brother died on the 8th in 2013. So
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I wanted to say thank you for that. And sorry, I just
Oh.
remembered.
We love you.
Probably we're here sending you memes and stuff all day.
Yes.
Yes. And
anyways.
there was once a point in time in which we'd take off school and work on that day, and
Yeah.
our whole lives shut down. And now, 15
I don't think
or
about
so
it all the
years.
time.
Yeah, you don't think about it. You forget. And
Yeah.
that's great. Life
Yeah.
goes on after tragedy. And hopefully that's something y'all can take away from this. But
Yeah. Sorry for crying on you.
oh,
I didn't
I
even
love you.
expect
Fine.
it.
We're here
But,
for you.
yeah. So I hope that everybody has a very blessed evening, and I hope that you go out there and do something good to change the world for the better, because we need it.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you, ladies.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.